Welcome to another episode of the Senpai Podcast Show. I am your host and producer, Victor Escalante. Joining me in the studio is the man of the hour, Senpai. Sam, say hi to our followers.
Hey, Raza, we just want to thank you and welcome you to another show, another edition. And I just want to remind everybody to subscribe to our channel to make us the number one Latino show, Raza show, bilingual, Spanglish, whatever you want to call it, that you start liking our podcast because we're really making some tremendous waves here and people are starting to download our show now.
Yes, thank you to everyone. And if you would like to have Sam answer a question on the air, be sure and write us to sampaispod@gmail.com. I'm the one that reads those emails, and I will be happy to ask Sam on the air to answer your question. Sam, what are we talking about today?
Real estate, the hot topic.
The hot topic. Tell us what just went down this weekend, Sam.
Starting August 17th, individuals that are buyers, the buyer's agents will now have to negotiate with the buyers to get their commission versus the old school where went up on the price on the buyers and the sellers would get their money from the seller of the house and the seller would pay these commissions. Well, the sellers started complaining about having to pay these fees out for the buyer and the sellers in. And so now it's changed.
In plain English, how does that affect the consumer, Sam?
The consumer now can negotiate with their buyer's agent what those fees are that they're going to pay for seeing houses. So we're just beginning right now to see what effect that's going to affect the realtors right now. Of course, in commissions, it's going to affect a lot because a lot of people already complaining that the commissions and negotiating with the buyers that the buyers don't want to pay because the buyers are used to the seller paying for everything. But then again, the money that the buyer was borrowing went up just to pay the commissions.
That's true.
Yeah.
A typical commission can range anywhere. I would say, what would you say the average commission is?
What they were saying is 3% that was out there for the everyday deals or transactions that were happening. So now you have to negotiate 500 to 1,000, whatever the buyers want to negotiate with you to pay a commission for you showing them houses, doing a contract and taking it to the title company.
Because you need a representative that is representing your interest. Because a seller is looking out for themselves, not necessarily your interest. So now it's up to you if you want to buy a piece of real estate to go find a reputable realtor that you can negotiate with for them to represent you. Is that the way it works?
That's how it works. You
Okay.
need a representative. And a lot of times buyers were stopping by and looking at signs and asking that person from the sign to show the house. And so buyers were under the impression that realtor was representing them, and it wasn't. That person represents the seller. And usually if the buyer and the seller are being represented by the same realtor, they usually get the broker to get another realtor to represent the buyers, and then the seller will be represented by the person that listed the property.
Yes, which I mentioned before. That actually happened to me because I did not feel that it was in my best interest to have the seller's agent sell me the house and write up the contract in a way that I didn't know where there were hidden fees or where they had fudged the numbers against my favor. And so I demanded that I have my own agent. And so I went out and found an agent to represent me to negotiate the deal. And that's the way it should be.
Yes, I agree.
Now, so this is what are realtors saying to you, Sam? Because you're a real estate broker with several agents. What are they telling you?
A lot of them have been calling me because years ago, before the pandemic, my client already had a buyer and a seller of a property. They already had the people that were in the transaction. So I was negotiating with them anywhere from 500 to $1,000 just to take it to the title company, fill out the contract, and make sure that the title had no cloud in it. So the realtors were complaining, Sam, you're doing it for little or nothing, and we got these commissions. And I said, but they're already a client of mine that I'm doing the mortgage and the insurance and other things for those individuals, that it didn't bother me to do it at $500 or $1,000, whatever the negotiation was between me and the buyer and the seller.
You're going to continue to do that. Write up contracts, prepare them to go to the title company for $500.
Yes, sir. That's it. All the LMS members, all my clients, $500. You got the buyer and the seller, and
Yeah.
usually a lot of these people have cash that they're buying the properties.
All right.
So I just walk them through the process, getting the cashier check, going to the title company, make sure the title's clear. And so I'm really not doing anything except holding my client, going to the title company and explaining or translating Spanish and English. So the realtors are in an uproar because I was doing that. And that started way before the pandemic.
They're going to build a path to your door, Sam. Build a better mousetrap, and the world will build a path to your door. That's what's going to happen.
Yes, sir.
So, what are some of the other stakeholders saying about this change? I was contacted by a mortgage broker. He was up in arms about how this was going to push Latinos down, and people are going to be discriminated against because again, now you have to have money in order to be represented by a buyer, right? If I correct me if I'm wrong, if you want to buy a piece of property, you now have to hire and negotiate a price with your agent that you must now pay, where it was in the old days, it was baked into the deal. So is that true? Is that Latinos are going to be discriminated against?
Again, everybody has their opinions. And so I like the famous quote, focus, follow one course until successful. And so I thank God every day that my mind doesn't think on one course only. I'm a multi-level service company, from taxes, insurance, real estate, mortgage, that I'm open-minded to see that this is going to benefit our raza. The raza buys cash. They have money. They're ready to buy. And you know, the saying was that you buy or sell a house from May to August. Not my raza. They buy in November and December, and they don't care what month it is, and they'll move the kids.
Yeah.
So in the end, I've already been negotiating with my buyers for ever and a day, and really realizing that shift and change in the market. I believe that more ownership for our Latinos is coming. We're the largest ethnic group in the state of Texas, and I don't see that slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah. Did you ever hear of Dr. Kleinberger?
Yes, Kleinberger
From Rice University.
Yes, yes.
He said, if you this is like 10 years ago, Sam. He said,
Yes.
if you shut the border down, if you put it under lock and key, Latinos will be the largest majority in the year 2040. Okay, that
Yes.
was 10 years ago.
Yes.
Look at where we are today. We already are there. And all indicators is that we are the ones that are starting the most number of businesses. We're the ones that is really driving the economy because we have the demographic of consumers, families that are consuming consumable products that are driving the economy.
Right.
So if you help the Latinos rise up, you're actually only helping the country, the local economy in the country.
Yep. He forgot to apply Moore's law that says in 6 months things change.
Yes.
And so with the market, in the Latino market, I've been following for 42 years. He wrote the book From Boom to Bust,
Mhm.
and I went through it in the 80s. So it was a tough lesson to learn. And that day in the 80s, I promised myself I would not be just in one industry, which I was. The tow truck, storage lot, parts business was all the same industry, regardless of how I looked at it. So this is why I diversified into different elements for the Latino, because I knew that I was going to be helping them and translating and looking at contracts and insurance needs and the business side of it, from LLC to corporations. I'm really at a great place at a great time right now in my life with the company, that we're getting tremendous phone calls from a lot of these Latinos that have built businesses that are now making 25 million, 30 million. And I'm right in that sweet spot to help a lot of these Latinos out. Now, as far as the realtors, I just tell them to join my platform on the multi-level software that I built so that they can offer the different services.
Let's be clear. It's a multi-product platform, not multi-level, because some people are going to get the
Oh,
wrong
yes,
idea
yes, you're
that
exactly
that
right. Yes,
that you're a
yes.
pyramid scheme.
Yes.
LMS is not a pyramid scheme. LMS is a multiple product platform. You're listening to the Senpai Show. We'll be right back.
¿Estás buscando soluciones efectivas para crecer y prosperar en tu empresa? Entonces, LMS Solution es para ti. Con nuestra plataforma innovadora puedes crear, administrar y seguir el progreso de tus programas de capacitación en línea de manera eficiente y fácil, desde el reclutamiento hasta el desarrollo del personal. Ofrecemos una solución integral para tus necesidades de formación. Visita nuestra página web hoy mismo en lmsolutionsdx.com y comienza a optimizar el aprendizaje en tu empresa. Nuestra plataforma es como si tuvieras todo un equipo de personal, tecnología a tu alcance. Visítanos hoy.
Hey Tony, why the long face? You look like your dog just died.
Damn, am I that obvious? I just found out that I owe the IRS over $50,000 in back taxes. And I don't know what I'm going to do. My credit is already in the tank and I have exhausted my reserves after my business went south.
Well, if I were you, I would call Sam Pais with LMS Solutions. I just heard him say on his podcast that he helped one of his clients with a tax liability of $1 million settle for $9,000.
Man, if I could get out from under this big weight, I could get a fresh start rather than close my business and still owe the IRS.
So what are you waiting for? I hear your first consultation is free. I have his number here, 281-977-6572, or you can go to his website lmssolutionstx.com.
I'm on it. I'm calling him right now. There's a reason why I keep you around. You know a lot about business. You made my day. How about we grab some lunch? Of course it's on me.
I'm glad to help out. What are friends for? You need to subscribe to the Sam Pais Show. He now has tips on Mondays and Wednesdays to help you grow your business.
You have made one new subscriber. Let's go. I'm starving.
Call LMS Solutions today. 281-977-6572. You will be glad you did for the rest of your life.
We now return you to the Senpai Show. Tell us all the different services that people can resell from that platform.
Well, I created one platform after using 10 different platforms. And so it was driving me nuts because I had the databases
Right.
in different places. Now I've been able to put all the data in my CRM that I built from scratch and profile the individual as far as all the information that I need for tax purposes, mortgage or real estate, or whatever I'm getting the information for Dun & Brad for the commercial business credit that I'm helping a lot of these Latinos open up now. And so I also profiled the businesses. So selling general liability, workers' comp, all these services that I have now will now facilitate these individuals, and I can fill the intake forms with one system now, from taxes, insurance, real estate, mortgage. Even if you got a diesel mechanic shop, my software will help you with the inventory that I built into the system.
So is that like a franchise that people are actually subscribing to?
I have the franchise LMS Tax and Insurance as
Okay.
a brick and mortar that we want to open up 10 locations in the next 24 months. And I also got it on the computer where you can be at Starbucks if you want and give people a quote on insurance or do their taxes or whatever you want to do on one platform.
So you can have a brick and mortar store, or you can have a digital store through LMS. Is it LMS TX.com or
It's
what?
the LMS Tax and Insurance franchise.
Gotcha.
And it's at lmssolutionsTX.com.
Gotcha. Well, and that information is going to be in the show notes for you to click on there and check it out, because lots of realtors and people in the real estate industry are going to be looking for additional streams of income. Remember when this was first coming out, Sam? Multiple streams of income.
Yes.
When careers were solid and you can make a decent living, and now you have to look at the long tail.
Yes. You definitely have to reevaluate yourself and understand that things are definitely shifting to multiple types of platforms. I mean, all the software companies are now adding different parts of software into one program. I just happened to build that program, and I've added the accounting edition. I've added the merchant accounts. I've added anywhere from doing your P&L, your balance sheets, just everything that you need in a business that you didn't think. Because most sheetrockers do sheetrock. They know nothing about accounting or legal or contracts or invoicing. I put all that in one platform that it made it easy for people to get.
How much is the membership, Sam?
The memberships are one thing. LMS memberships on the personal side is $200 and the business side is $600. But the platform itself is at $112 with 3 users on the system. And so we got over 6,000 users today.
Now, you're going to be doing a live training coming up, aren't you?
Yes, September 15th. I'm going to be doing Business 101 and also talking to a lot of life insurance specialists that now want to use my platform. The last meeting, we had about 35 agents in our conference.
There you have it. And of course, we'll have that information in the show notes. Sam, give us your forecast. What's going to happen in the real estate industry?
I think a lot of individuals will be leaving the real estate segment to either go get a job or they're going to have to shift into selling multiple services in the business. And so I've been doing this for 42 years. And so I tell people, there's a lot of moving parts in my company. This is why I built the software. But I predict that realtors are going to have to shift and change their mindsets, are open-minded to the things that are coming. And so I was just talking to a realtor, and she remembers a time where I went with a client to a closing, and the guy didn't have enough. And so I gave him my commissions from my real estate commissions, and the agent looked at me like, man, you're giving them your commissions? I said, my number one goal is to put this person in a home. And so I've always looked at my clients as family in the LMS when they come to me. And I also had to write a check for $1,500 out of my pocket on top of the commissions. So when I got back to the office, my wife says, did you close the deal? I said, I did, baby, but I had to give up my commission. I didn't have to. I got to.
Right. You loaned it.
Yes. And on top of that, babe, I wrote a check for $1,500 so we could close the deal. But after we closed, we went to the house, and the guy took the sign down, and he couldn't stop crying for owning his own home. He had been in an apartment for 15 years. He goes, I can't believe it. I wouldn't have owned this home if it wouldn't have been for you. And he's still a client to this day.
I bet you his children are your clients.
Yes.
And that family is a client for life.
For life. That's it. That's the bottle, whatever the Latinos say that we help individuals. And this is what's built my business.
Yeah.
It's the expression on people's face. It's invaluable.
Oh, absolutely.
See the expression of their face in their own home. Yeah. They still live in that house right down the street from where I live. Yeah. And so the guys are just grateful every time I see them.
Sam, I'll never forget the story that you told me of one of your clients. that was up in I want to say Aspen, Colorado, about to do a multi-million-dollar contract, and there was one glitch, and the client called you, and you told them this is what you're going to do, and the deal went through. And again, that was a multi-million-dollar deal. That if that client did not have a safety net, namely San Pais, he would have lost out on a huge piece of business. That's the kind of reputation that you built your business on, is being able to do whatever it takes for a client, even if you have to lend them the money or the infrastructure that they need in order to bring in the business. Talk to us about that particular case.
This individual was going to make $1 million deal on becoming the general contractor for doing the steel. And in the meeting, they asked for Social
This
Security
is for
number.
restaurant construction. Is that correct?
This was an apartment complex that he was doing for students at the college.
Okay.
And so he had been a subcontractor for a long time, but he got the opportunity to become the general contractor. So I incorporated him. He's got an EIN number. But these individuals up north now ask for Social Security numbers.
Yeah.
It's in the contract. So he called me and I told him, what are you concerned about? And he goes, well, they're asking me for my Social Security number. And I stepped out telling him it was in my truck. And he goes, you know that I'm just an I-10 and I'm going to lose this contract. So I stepped in and took a picture of my ID, my Social Security card, sent it to him. And I told him, tell him I'm the president of your company. And I signed all the contracts. And sure enough, he did that. And the guy looked at him. He goes, Lino, why aren't you giving me your information? And he goes, no. This is the president of my company, and he signs all the contracts. He's got to read everything. And behold, he's making $25 million this year in projects. So that was something that it was amazing for him to see this, that I just did it. The next day, they were in my office offering me 50% of the company, and I turned them down, of course.
Yeah.
I said, I'm already doing your taxes, your insurance, your general liability. There's no way I can take any part of your company. That's what I'm here for.
Another company, business owner for life.
Yes, for life. Yes, exactly.
Was Sam, any final words related to the changes in real estate law?
What I'm telling everybody, be open-minded. Look at what's changing and coming. This is barely the first week, and there's going to be a lot of things. Just be open-minded to the clients, the customers. Watch what you're doing. Take another contract class because I'm fixing to do it just so that I make sure that I'm doing things right.
Okay. Is that enough show, Sam?
That's enough show, Raza.
We're going to leave it there. Until next time, we'll see you then. Take care.